Welcome to the HR Empowerment Podcast, where we will uncover strategies and new insights from HR professionals who discuss up-to-date regulations, best practices, and the most pressing topics like diversity and equity, leadership, dealing with difficult situations, and much more that affect your bottom line and business. Thanks for joining us.
Hey everybody, Wendy Sellers here, the HR Lady. Welcome back. We are in episode 4 of 5 in the series on staying ahead of the legal curve and staying ahead of lawsuits with your race for talent. We are here today with our very special expert, Adam Kemper. Hey Adam, welcome back.
Thanks again.
Thank you. So I know we had a little bit of a hot topic right before this about marijuana. We have another hot topic that blows people's minds, and I literally see people with steam coming out of their ears when they're talking about this. I want to talk about abortion laws and the effects on employment practices. JC has a stat that he wants to share, so let's go ahead and get that out, and then I'm going to just ask you a million questions.
A 2022 survey by the Guttmacher Institute revealed that 11 states enacted laws severely limiting access to abortion, affecting employees' reproductive health benefits and workplace accommodations. According to the Society for Human Resource Management, SHRM, 30% of employers in these states reported revising their health policies to address the legal landscape, while 20% indicated that these laws have impacted their ability to attract and retain talent, especially among female employees. Back to you.
Yeah, and before I start asking Adam some questions, I do just want to know this isn't just a female issue. This is a global, in this case, USA issue, because pregnancy and abortion and the negative effects of pregnancy, especially when you're losing a child, it affects everyone. So it is a big deal. With that said, Adam, what questions are you getting from people about abortion? Like, oh, it's banned in my state, so I could ban it in my company, and I could fire somebody because they told me that they are getting an abortion or they support it.
This is the most controversial topic, right? I think we can agree on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Pregnant Worker Fairness Act just passed last year, and on a 3-2 vote, the issue of whether or not abortion is included as part of the accommodation requirement took up 94,000 comments. There's a stat for you, JC, 94,000. So wow. 54,000 of the 94,000 were opposed to including abortion as an accommodation. The other 40,000 were inclusive of it. So what does that mean? That means that on top of Roe v. Wade being overturned just a couple of years ago and Pregnant Worker Fairness Act just coming out last year, the issue of abortion is not going anywhere, and it's not getting any less divisive. Okay, so as an employer, you now have, according to the Roe v. Wade being overturned, you have the states. It's up to the states to decide how they're going to govern it. Having said that, because we now have this federal law, Pregnancy Worker Fairness Act, which contemplates this accommodation for pregnant workers, there is going to be some give and take with employers. Okay, so you have to know that this federal requirement applies nationwide, although just 2 months ago, and this is all hot off the press stuff, just 2 months ago, a Louisiana federal court entered an injunction specifically against the abortion portion of the Pregnancy Worker Fairness Act. That means the abortion provision within that law is not going to apply, at least temporarily, in Louisiana and Mississippi. Arkansas tried a very similar challenge on behalf of 17 states, and that case was dismissed by the courts. So we're seeing active challenges against this act. I'm sure we will see more in light of Chevron deference being overturned. Lots of legal stuff going on, basically. And the point that employers need to take from this is that this is a fluid issue, one where you absolutely need to stay abreast with your counsel on the very latest. And on top of that, to keep an open mind to accommodations. That's what I say to all of my clients. Always keep an open mind. Don't immediately dismiss a request for accommodation, because what most companies get in trouble with is not engaging in what is referred to as the interactive process,
right?
Which is under the ADA. It's also contemplated under Pregnancy Worker Fairness Act. And just because maybe you have a religious objection to the concept of abortion, there are Title VII cases which predate the Pregnancy Worker Fairness Act, which give employees protections to have an abortion or to choose not to.
Yeah.
So it's a very interesting area, and one where I can already see it. Companies are going to get in trouble by this.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, whenever I get questions on this, there's not a clear-cut answer for an employer or a manager, because it depends on where you're located and what the laws are. But the end, what I really want the listeners to hear is, specifically with the Pregnant Workers Fairness Act, but other laws too, federal laws already protect abortion, or the conversation of abortion, or, Title VII protects women for being fired for having or contemplating having an abortion, or not to have one. And so there's so many, Pregnancy Discrimination Act, FMLA, ADA, you name it. There's so many laws. And then on top of that, you mentioned it, the religious aspect. Keep religion out of the workplace. That's the bottom line. Keep religion out of the workplace. I don't care if you're the owner. I don't care if you're the employee, whatever it is. People have the right to their religious beliefs. You do not have a right to shove your religious beliefs on top of them. So regardless of which side you stand on, these are the laws. When you're at Target, or you're, at the grocery store or whatever, or out having a beer or a glass of wine, and you're talking amongst your friends, you might be able to say or do something different. But at work, nope, it's not up to you. It's not like, oh, I have freedom of rights. I have all this. I can speak for myself. Not here, you can't. So it's super important. So thank you so much for that. That was an incredibly important topic. I really encourage everyone to, connect with Adam and some other lawyers that are where your employees reside, so you can get a better understanding of this ever-changing topic. With that said, thanks everybody for joining us for episode 4 of Staying Ahead of the Legal Curve with your Race for Talent. Up next, in our final session, we're going to talk about some interesting employment cases that stunned our expert, Adam Kemper. We'll be right back.
Thank you for joining the HR Empowerment Podcast, brought to you by Aurora Training Advantage. We hope you've gained new insight and strategies to navigate the HR profession. We look forward to you joining us again on the HR Empowerment Podcast.